What's up, everyone? I'm the devastating Just Cause, and this is DJC Game Studios. I don't know why I did a kapoosh. It's kind of weird. Anyways, let's talk some NES, and I've been waiting to do this. I guess it's going to be a full review because it's just a game I loved. I absolutely loved on the NES growing up, and I have it right here. And the game is RoboWarrior, a Jellico game, or Jellico, or Jello game, if you like Jello. But nope, it is one of the most, I think, underrated games. But who am I? This is just me. You know, the reason I like this game, RoboWarrior, is I had like a little summer job as I don't know how old I was. I don't even think I was old enough to drive yet. But I had this job, and it was like on the weekends we'd pass out pizza flyers for this pizza place, me and a couple friends, and at the end of the day we get paid, I think, like $20 or something. It was really well, anyways, so I saved up, I think, like I had ended up having like $30 or something from the day and a half I worked or whatever it was, or close to it or whatever, something like that. Anyways, and so there was a lot of games. You remember games back then were like $50-$60 too, $49, 50. But there was some Nintendo games that were, does that have cobwebs in it? That's terrible. There was Nintendo games that were like $29.95, and a lot of them were like obscure titles, or like you wouldn't be able to buy Mike Tyson's Punch-Out or Super Mario 3 for $29.95. Those were like the $50-$60 games, right? Well, this one was $29.95, so I had 30 and some bunch of change and pennies, and I went to Kmart, like rode my bike up to Kmart and bought this game, and I'm like, because they had like cool looking box, and I was like, oh, it has little boss fights and everything, and so I'm like, I gotta love it, because it's not like it wasn't. There's no internet. There's no stores everywhere. It was just certain. You went and bought a game. Once you open it, you couldn't bring it back, And so I dove into this, and let me go over it for you. So it is one of my favorites. So it starts off. Here's the manual. So the whole thing is that you go to this planet. There was the Earth was like suffering and almost in ruins. So they made a second planet to do the overpopulation of Earth. And they, I guess a scientist named Atile went to make this planet. Well, he got the whole thing. It had a weather machine on it. It made all the forests and everything grow properly. And after years, he died before he could see the fruition of it. So he pretty much, they named the planet Atile after him. And it was in the outer reaches of the galaxy, right? And so many years later, it gets populated. People are living there, and it gets Xanthos or this Xur or Xanth. Anyways, this guy, this alien, takes over this planet, and basically, like all the people flee and get away and go underground. So they have this RoboWarrior named Zed, and Zed comes from Earth, is sent to there in a ship, and he basically has to destroy all these aliens, go through all the bosses, the Lords of Evil or whatever they called. And there's a lot of cool bosses, but anyways, there's a lot of different lands. So when you get there, you're in like the last forest area, and the whole thing about Zed is it plays almost like a Bomberman / like it's like an overworld like Bomberman, kind of gridded. And there's a lot. You can also go to, there's staircases. I mean, you uncover stuff. You set a bomb and uncover stuff. There's staircases that go down underground to a cave where you can pick up all the icons. And these icons are everywhere. You have your energy to keep your batteries powered. You have batteries that you can pick up to power your energy, because you have to constantly keep energized. Or once he dies, he dies. So you power up, and you really try to get through this. Oh my goodness, I am flickering. Talk about powering up. Had some camera issues. So you're really trying to get through this, and you got to pick up. There's lots of things. So to go to underground caves, you need candles, because you got to see in the dark. A candle goes out, and you're in complete blackness. It's like it kind of reminds me of the haunted house game, when you have the candle. But if you run out of candles, you got to like run around and try to see where the exit is, because you're not gonna be able to find it. So you want to stockpile candles. There's lanterns, but the lanterns, there's some stages that are complete blackness above ground, so you want to save those lanterns and turn those on because they'll last the whole stage, so you can see the whole stage in the daylight. And then there's an awesome there's a raft where if you have to walk over water, you can walk over water. There's a shield or a barrier, they call it, so you can kind of, so you don't get blown up by your own bombs, and you can go over other things that last for a little bit. There's a crossfire. There's a rocket that shoots through a ton of barriers, so you don't have to keep using bombs. Of course, you have your little ray gun at all times, and things are always flying over that you can destroy to get more bombs, because everything turns into bombs after you kill it, so you can keep. The main thing is to stockpile bombs, and then you also have a megaton bomb, which is very rare to find. You only get a few in the game. You want to save those to either destroy everything on the screen, like something that's got so much barricades. It helps, move the game forward. Or if you're fighting one of those evil bosses. But let's take a look at the game. So, RoboWarrior it's one of my favorite things. Very colorful. It's charming. Is the graphics insane? No, they're not. But it was just good for what it was. In the music is fantastic. The soundtrack of this is just absolutely outstanding. And you're kind of blasting your way through forests. There's also other harder rocks that if you blast through, it takes like 4 or 5 times that you blast through those, and you can gain access to other rooms with like totem poles and like statues, and if you blow them up in the right order, it gives you different things too. There's also shops at the end of the stage, so if you collect these little award medals, once you get so many, you can buy different things in the shop. Megaton bomb is the big one, right? And then there's other stages where everything's like dead and like forest, like fall, almost like dead leaves, kind of looking like rusty, Then you got the more mechanical stages, and then you got like some that look like Greek towers or like the old ruins, and then you got some that are like water or aqua levels. So each stage is kind of neat. Like it's set up a little different. I mean, like I said, it has that same feel where you're kind of gridded in a square. So you're kind of just blasting your way through stuff. Now the main thing is to go to the end of the stage and get the key to get out. But if you don't get the chalice, which is a thing that Earth sent to the planet, apparently, the chalice reveals the exit. So it's this little sparkling thing that you get, and when you blow it up, it's like this little ball in like a holder, and it sparkles, and that is the chalice. Once you get that, it will. If you don't get that before you get to the end, the level will just keep repeating and repeating and repeating. So you have to get the chalice and the key to exit the level. Key is usually right at the end, but if you miss the chalice, you don't remember where it is, where it's usually like halfway into the level. If you don't blast through all those things and get that chalice, it's going to keep repeating on you, and that is annoying. So you got to remember to get that. But this, to me, is like I said, it's a charming game. It's a cute game, I guess you could even say. Now let's get into the bosses. The first one, if I remember, was Globulus or Globulois or whatever. Reminds me of the G.I. Joe action figure with the tail. But this one is like a giant blob or like bubble. It has like an eyeball. It's kind of funny looking. Fun. I love the sound effects when you hit it. That's a fun one. There's another one where there's like a serpent that comes out of a well, and you got to kind of fight him. Like I said, are the graphics insane? No, but this is a fun game. I'll tell you what, as a kid, my jaw's hitting the ground. Yeah, it was hitting the ground. Because you always liked big sprites and bosses and stuff. And then some of them weren't so big, but they were, like they had the one aquarium guy, aquarium brain with an eye, and he was shooting piranhas at you. Another one shoots like these flaming phoenixes. And then your main boss is this big cyborg head with like a half a melted brain, which is I think that's the Zor or Zur. But if you get a chance, you gotta play this game. I really recommend it. This is like, I'm not throwing out a pixel scale. This ain't nothing like that. But this, to me, is a 10 out of 10 NES game. It will take you a long time to get through it. Now, there is some cheats. There is some cheats where you can, I think it's either Game Genie or there might be codes, but I think if I remember back in the day, it was Game Genie, where you can set it something to where Zed can walk all over the barricades. So basically, you just got to find your chalice, pick up some icons and stuff to do battle for bosses, and then go to the exit. So it makes you blast through it. I did play through this whole game, the actual game, and it's one of the very few games back from my childhood when I played all the way through a few times and won and fought all the bosses, and it was just a great experience, great music, great little NES 8-bit graphics. I enjoyed it. I don't know, let me know what you think. Have you ever played the game RoboWarrior? Do you think it's a little underrated? Do you think more people should try it? I do. RoboWarrior. Go out and get it. It's in local stores now. It's not. But check on eBay. I'm sure you can get it fairly cheap. I'm actually, the only inbox game I have is Original Punch-Out for NES. I might actually get this boxed, and I might start to collect some box NES of just games I really liked, which are not usually the commons. But this is and you have a, like I said, you have like this whole inventory screen. It reminds me of a Bomberman Zelda. So it's like a Legend of Zelda Bomberman with a bunch of like, it's like RPG action Bomberman Zelda. It's really weird, man. But it's so much fun. And anyways, that's all I have to say. I could keep going on and on about this game. It's one of my top NES games of all time. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm gonna end her there, folks. Thank you. Please like, please subscribe. And gosh darn it all to heck and back. We'll see you in the next one. Most likely. Huh? What? Oh, there we go. RoboWarrior! Well, my floors are uneven.